Hi, hello everyone, welcome to this video. Today we are on GTA 5, making a video like the OGs used to do. Simply put just some gameplay and me talking over it. I'm playing at the same time, so I might, stutter or get lost a little bit. I hope you can mind that. Deal with that? Mind that? I'm not sure. Anyways, today briefly the goal is to find a Porsche type vehicle and to customize it because that was my favorite vehicle in this game. So yeah, I'm playing GTA 5 in 2026. Yes, feels weird to say still. Um, and doing so made me realize how blurry my vision had become. By vision, I mean the dream that I have, or how I saw myself in the future. Um, instant, instantaneously, quite rapidly on this game. After playing just a little bit and being back in Los Santos, I reconnected with those visions. Because this game contains, I'll say, the ideas of what I was thinking about when I was dreaming, about leaving this place and making my life abroad. I was 16, I'll say 13 to 16, 18, playing this game on and off, not all the time. And it was really the time where I was shaping my dreams and thinking about what I wanted from life. And simply put, I wanted to live in the US, to be rich, free, and ride motorcycles. And in this game, I could do a lot of those things. I really remember, all the streets and everything, despite not playing the game for 5 years. Might not sound, impressing in itself, but for me, who has not the best memory, it always feels weird of how I can remember of this game. How much I can, when you hear the sounds and everything, you're like instantaneously taken back a few years ago. And that's why I absolutely love this game and realizing how this is a capsule of how I was thinking. And in a sense, although it's not easy to reconnect with old memory, in the sense that you perhaps realize that you slipped through the cracks and you did not become what you wanted to be. Sorry. It also, uplift me a little bit, thinking how I was believing in myself. With the years and failures that comes with life. Um, Sometimes, it creates a momentum. It can be a good one or a bad one. I'm somewhere in between, for now it's a negative one, but it changes from time to time. And reconnecting with this more positive um, view of life, more hope in the life itself, but also in my capabilities. I feel like it's a really good exercise, not exercise, but a good thing to experience, and I'm really grateful for it. There is absolutely no Porsches in this map, or what? I have notes on the left, so I hope you don't mind if I read through them. I didn't want this video to be, just me reading my script in a sense, but I wanted to lay flat a few, lay flat, lay down a few ideas. So I hope you can like catch my drift when I was saying. So first thing first, why am I playing this game in the big 2026? Simply put, I'm trying to stay true or keep promise that I've made to myself about finishing the story mode. I've never finished the story mode of GTA despite playing it over the years. When I was younger, I was really fried with multiplayer. My brain couldn't really tolerate anything single player, so I have many hours on GTA Online, which I really liked. I don't know how it is right now, but my bet is that it's not in a good situation. But that's beside the point. I'm trying to stay true to my words. Can I say it like that? Oh, I'm running around now. I'm trying to stay true to my words. I believe I was like 14 when I said something like that. I'm 25. Like, oh yeah, I'll finish the story later. Um, which when I was saying those things back in the days, I'll do that, I'll do this. I really meant that I wanted to do it, but I didn't meant about, or I wasn't meaningful enough about the efforts that it will take. So, for example, it takes me more than 10 years to just, oh, here we go, more than 10 years to keep those words true or to stay true to those words. which is very very long. Oh, and if I'm being honest, I really thought that by the age I am right now, I will be living this kind of life. Um, not the thug life or whatever, being crazy and all those things, but more about a certain sense of freedom, especially living in the US. I was really excited about this perspective, of the future of me living in the US. Well, in those grand grand city, experiencing life, and I sadly took the other path. I mean, took or I wasn't good enough for that path, I guess, and I feel like I'm a bit underlived now. That was really something that I was a bit afraid of. Sadly, it became my reality. It can change still, I'm not defeatist in a sense, but I'm really far from my vision that I had back then. Um, when I when I read my notes, it's really hard to have the flow, keeping the flow. Sorry, of my whatever I'm saying, because I feel like not that I'm lying, but I feel like I'm trying to be too perfect, which rather than perfection, I try to be honest. I don't know why. That's something that I really have um in me. I don't really like, not that I don't like lying. I think I'll keep it white. It's more like I'd rather keep things authentic as much as possible. But I have to read a little bit. I don't know why I went on this tangent. But yeah, I've written that the dream was we're still here. It's something that booting up this game, I was like, oh, the dream is still alive. It kind of felt like it was dying out slowly but surely. With the year passing by, ooh, like that for sure. Years passing by, you try things, your personality, everything. You realize that perhaps you're not tailored for your dreams. That's something that's really been bothering me for the past few months. Perhaps I'm not strong enough for those dreams, because when I was, let's say, around 16, thinking about those things, it was really like I can make whatever. Um, there was no limit in the sense that I knew that I was still evolving, I was still changing, and I really like that. This idea of, oh yeah, but I'm still how can you say that, incomplete piece of work. Things can change, I can improve, I can become better, blah blah blah. And now that I'm 25, it's more, things become more static. um I'm not giving up. I know that you can always change. It's just you can always improve, change yourself. I really believe that we aren't stuck, but there is like this base structure or model of who you are. Hey, pretty nice. And I feel like it's hard to get out of it the older you get. um and that's a bit scary, if I'm being honest. Back then I had this free way of thinking. There were no real constraints. Idealistic, you can say. It was really idealistic of me. And now, there is start of reality. No, reality start to kicks in a little bit more each year. uh, and I'd like to be strong enough, not to care about, because in a sense, I'd like to say that, but everything is a question of perspective. The way you see things, and how they impact you. That's really what you have to understand about life, in my opinion. You can be anything if only you are able to see the world and yourself a certain way. But that's a whole other topic. But yeah, to get back on the idea of staying true to my words, that's something that I've been working on here and there for the past year. It's not perfect. I still sleep. I say things and then I'm like, I cannot do that, or why do I engage in such things or say such things? But I try, bits by bits, piece by piece, to restore the trust that I have in my own words about, when I say something, I must do it, because it's the relationship that I have with myself. And I'm always, telling myself that, oh, I'll be there at 9 p.m. and I'm never coming. That's the kind of relation that I have right now. And I really want to change that. So it goes through, finishing this game. I finished also Red Dead Redemptions. It's things like that. I'm trying to finish my Steam library also, not try to buy any new games. It sounds dumb. Um, when you look at it like that, very close, it is dumb in a sense. Let's be honest, that won't change anything to my. I use the word because I don't know any other better word, but miserable situation. It's way too strong for what I want to say, but I'm kind of stuck in this room, which I was hoping to leave when I was playing this game 10 years ago or so. Um, I'm still not living abroad, still no job, still no girls, nothing, no motion, basically. It's my fault, I'm, how can I say that? I'm not open, but I'm clear on that, it's not like, oh, the world is against me or no one is working. I wasn't strong enough for my vision, and it's up to me to be strong enough to be the man that is needed in my situation. Um, and playing this game, makes me realize that hey, it's in my control. Remember when I was dreaming about such ambitious things? I was nothing back then, and I remember how I made progress, how I became more socially able. I'll say I was extremely shy, and then I become way more open. I made things, looking back over those past few years, not perfect. I wish I did more. There's things that I wish I did not do, but like everyone else, sadly, I feel like I lack extreme things, extreme positive and negatives. I'm too much in the middle. Um, in a sense, I really wish that I was overjoyed because of X reason, and I wish that I had my heart broken once or twice, just so like you feel shit in a sense. You feel like, oh yeah, I lived through things, and I feel like I lived by things, but by the side of it, not really involved in anything. Once again, it sounds very pessimistic or negative. That's not the vibe I'm trying to go for, but just so you understand, my perspective, I guess. When I hear myself talking, I feel like it's extremely complaining. I hope it's not sounding that much like that. But in the same time, I'm frustrated about where I am or who I am more than where I am, because one is because of the other. I just not just only wish, but I wish and I will and I work on being better. And this game is really, I won't say a wake up call, but a very good reminder about, yeah, you can look at things in two different ways. You can either choose hope, sorry, you can choose hope and hope, sorry, you can choose hope and think that, hey, although I haven't made it for my dream position or my dream job, dream place to live in, dream girl, whatever, I still can do it, and I can do it in a easier fashion than if you put me in the same situation 10 years ago. Well, look at that view. Um, Hopefully, this um, slower pace that is mine will be the right one. This view, man. Um, the biggest shift, I guess, from when I was playing this game and now, it's that I'm no longer only how can you say that, working out of hope, thinking that, oh, things will get better because they'll get better. Now I'm really trying to work on it. It's not easy, it's not perfect, it's not beautiful in a sense. That's all right. That's my way. And I just hope, that in a few years I'll be able to play back play that game again and look back on those past few years and be perhaps more satisfied. I've written in my note that I'm really thankful for Los Santos, to be this little box that gives my dreams and my ideas. I hope that you can also, because of this video, find perhaps a media, a game, a movie, whatever, a place that you can go back to and perhaps reconnect with your vision. Especially something that you were um, watching, doing, consuming, whatever. When you are thinking about the future, how you will grow up, and all those things, I feel like it's really cool to revisit such things. Final word that I wrote because it's important. Although you can hear in the way I talk about myself that there is a lot of frustration and not so much satisfaction. It's important to work on being kind of on yourself. I guess that's the thing that I will tell myself, a few years ago. If if myself from the past asked me a question about, oh, what should I work on, I think I will try to really emphasize be kind to yourself. Beating yourself down won't help anything. It makes the situation worse or keep it stagnant. Easy to say, harder to understand. It took me some time to understand, but yes, it's it's about the process. It's not some we should not focus so much on the results. Like, am I there? It's not really important because once you're there, then what? It's more like, am I doing what's needed to get there? Am I doing the work, the actions? Do I keep the positive mindset? Not positive in a toxic way. It's important, to be honest with our emotion, but it's really easy to have a negative tinted vision of life, seeing things for what they are not, or over interpreting, or seeing the wrong prism of life. As I said, question of perspective. Everything in life is a question of perspective. How do you put yourself from which angle do you look at your issue or situation or whatever? Anyway, that's enough yapping about me and how I reconnected with a lost vision of myself in Los Santos. Michael is not my favorite character. It's Franklin, actually. I should have played with Franklin. Franklin? I don't remember how I said. Anyways, thank you, Los Santos, for the love of the States and everything, reminding me of my dreams. Thank you for watching. Um, yeah, I don't know, that was a weird one. Okay, bye.